In the next 8 minutes, you'll learn the exact steps that could save your life when a nuclear bomb goes off near you. Nuclear bombs are not just movie scenes anymore. With rising tensions around the world, knowing how to survive an atomic attack has become a real skill everyone should have. Most people think they would die instantly, but that's not true. Many people can survive if they know what to do in those critical first minutes. The difference between life and death comes down to 3 simple things: where you go, what you do, and how fast you act. When a nuclear bomb explodes, it creates 3 waves of destruction that hit you at different times. The first wave is light and heat that travels at the speed of light. This flash is brighter than looking directly at the sun and can blind you permanently if you stare at it. The heat from this flash can burn your skin even if you are miles away. You see this flash before anything else happens. You have about 15 to 30 seconds before the blast wave hits you. This blast wave is like a giant invisible wall of air moving faster than a hurricane. It travels at over 700 miles per hour and can knock down buildings, flip cars, and throw people through the air like dolls. The third wave is radiation, which you cannot see, smell, or feel, but it can kill you slowly over weeks or months by destroying your body from the inside. The most important thing to remember is that the farther you are from the explosion, the better your chances of living. Scientists call this the inverse square law. This means that if you are twice as far from the bomb, you get 4 times less radiation. If you are very close to where the bomb goes off, within half a mile, nothing can save you. The heat will kill you instantly. But if you are 2 to 5 miles away, you have a real chance to survive if you do the right things. Even being a few blocks further away can mean the difference between living and dying. Distance is your best friend in a nuclear attack. The moment you see that bright flash in the sky, you need to move fast. Do not stand there looking at it because you will go blind. Do not try to take a picture with your phone. Do not call anyone because the phone lines will be jammed within seconds. You have less than 30 seconds to find cover before the blast wave hits. The flash is your warning signal. It tells you that in a few seconds, a wall of destruction is coming your way at the speed of sound. Drop to the ground immediately and cover your head with your hands. Protect your eyes by closing them tight and looking away from the flash. If you are near a building, run inside as fast as you can, but do not waste time if you are far from a door. If you are in a car, get out and run to the nearest building. Cars offer almost no protection from nuclear blasts. The windows will shatter, and the metal body will heat up like an oven. If there are no buildings around, lie flat on the ground behind anything solid you can find. A concrete wall, a large rock, a ditch, or even a small hill can save your life. The key is to put something solid between you and the explosion. Even a curb or concrete step is better than nothing. Once you are on the ground, stay there until the blast wave passes. Do not get up when you hear the sound coming because the blast wave moves faster than sound. You will hear a loud, roaring sound that seems to go on forever, like the world's biggest thunderstorm mixed with a freight train. The ground will shake violently, and you might feel like you are in a major earthquake. Windows will explode in a shower of glass, and debris will fly through the air at deadly speeds. Tree branches, pieces of buildings, and even cars can become flying weapons. This is not the time to get up and run. Stay down and cover your head until everything goes quiet. The blast wave will pass in about 10 to 15 seconds, but it will feel much longer. After the blast wave passes, you might think the danger is over, but you have a new problem that is even more deadly: radiation. The bomb has just spread invisible poison into the air, and this poison is now falling down like deadly snow. You cannot see it, smell it, or feel it, but it is there, and it can make you very sick or kill you. This radioactive fallout looks like ordinary dust or ash, but it is thousands of times more dangerous than anything in nature. The good news is that radiation gets weaker over time. The bad news is that it takes days or weeks to become safe enough to be outside for long periods. Your next goal is to find the best shelter possible. And you need to do this quickly, because the fallout will start reaching the ground within 15 to 30 minutes. Not all buildings are the same when it comes to protecting you from radiation. You want thick walls and as much concrete, brick, or metal as possible between you and the outside air. The rule is simple. The more material between you and the radiation, the safer you are. A thick concrete wall can block almost all radiation, while a thin wooden wall barely stops any. Basements are the best, because the ground above you blocks radiation, and the soil on all sides gives you extra protection. Underground parking garages are excellent shelters because they have concrete on all sides and soil on top. Subway tunnels and building basements are also good choices. Even a basement in a wooden house is much safer than the upper floors of a concrete building. If you have to choose between a basement in a weak building or an upper floor in a strong building, choose the basement. If you cannot find a basement, go to the center of the strongest building you can find. Stay away from windows and outside walls because radiation can come through them. The middle of a concrete building is much safer than near the edges. Big office buildings, shopping malls, hospitals, and apartment buildings with thick walls can protect you. Schools are often good because they are built strong and have thick walls. Even a small concrete building like a gas station or bank is better than a large wooden house. Avoid buildings with lots of glass or thin metal walls. Once you are in your shelter, you need to seal it from the outside air as much as possible. Radioactive dust is trying to get inside through every crack and opening, and you want to keep it out. Close all windows and doors tightly. If you have tape, duct tape is best. Use it to seal the gaps around windows and doors. You can also use cloth, towels, or even mud to fill gaps. Turn off any fans, air conditioning, or heating systems that bring in outside air. If you have plastic sheets, garbage bags, or even newspapers, you can tape them over windows for extra protection against radiation. The air inside your sealed shelter will be safe to breathe for many hours or even days. You will not run out of oxygen, so do not panic about this. Many people worry about suffocating, but it is not a real problem unless you are in a very tiny space. The space inside most buildings has enough air to last for days, even with all the openings sealed. Your bigger worry should be keeping the radioactive dust outside where it belongs. Now comes the hardest part mentally. Waiting. You need to stay in your shelter for at least 24 hours, and preferably 48 hours or more. This is not easy, especially if you are worried about family members or friends in other places. You might want to leave to check on them or to find them, but leaving your shelter too early can kill you. The radiation outside is strongest in the first day after the explosion. In fact, radiation levels drop by 90% in the first 48 hours. Every hour you wait, the radiation gets weaker. The rule of 7 says that for every 7-fold increase in time, radiation decreases 10-fold. So after 49 hours, radiation is 100 times weaker than after 7 hours. During this waiting time, you need to take care of basic needs like water, food, and waste disposal. If you do not have supplies with you, look around your shelter for anything useful. Office buildings often have cafeterias, break rooms, or vending machines. Schools have cafeterias with large amounts of food and water fountains that might still work. Shopping centers obviously have food stores. Even in regular buildings, you can find food in office refrigerators or employee kitchens. In homes, you can find water in the hot water heater tank, which holds 40 to 80 gallons of clean water. You can also get water from toilet tanks, not the bowls, and from pipes if you know how to drain them. Water is more important than food for immediate survival. You can live for 3 to 4 weeks without food if you have water, but only 3 to 4 days without water. A person needs about 1 gallon of water per day for drinking and basic hygiene. If you have to choose between staying in a good shelter with no water or leaving to find water, stay in the shelter for at least the first 24 hours. After that, if you still have no water and are getting dangerously dehydrated, You might need to make very quick trips to find some, but keep these trips as short as possible. If you have a battery-powered radio, use it to listen for emergency information, but use it sparingly to save the batteries. The government will broadcast instructions about when it is safe to leave shelters, where to go for help, and which areas are most dangerous. They will also give information about food and water distribution points and medical help. But do not trust everything you hear on social media or from random people with cell phones. Rumors spread fast during disasters, and bad information can get you killed. Stick to official emergency broadcasts from the government, military, or major news stations. When you do finally leave your shelter, you still need to be very careful about radiation exposure. Cover as much of your body as possible with thick clothing. Long sleeves, long pants, hats, and gloves all help keep radioactive dust off your skin. If you have a scarf, towel, bandana, or any cloth, cover your nose and mouth to avoid breathing radioactive dust into your lungs. This dust can cause lung cancer years later. Move quickly and purposefully to avoid spending unnecessary time outside. If you need to walk through areas with visible dust, ash, or debris, try to avoid stirring it up. Do not kick through piles of debris or walk in dusty areas if you can help it. Look for signs that tell you which areas are more dangerous. Dead birds, dead insects, or dying plants are clues that radiation levels are very high in those spots. Areas where you see many sick people or dead bodies are also danger signs. Stay far away from the crater or heavily damaged area where the bomb went off. The closer you get to ground zero, the more dangerous it becomes, even days after the explosion. Fire departments and emergency workers will have radiation detectors and will mark dangerous areas with signs or tape. Pay attention to these warnings. Your long-term survival depends on getting away from the most contaminated areas and reaching places where you can get clean food, water, and medical care. This might mean walking for many miles to reach a safe zone set up by the government or military. But do not start this journey until at least 48 hours after the explosion, and only if you have reliable information about where to go. Moving in the wrong direction can take you into more dangerous areas or into chaos where people are fighting over resources. Share this life-saving information with everyone. You know, because preparation today means survival.